Do this one. We're going to go international. That's where we're taking this one from. This story in the global media: Biden's pardon of his son pours fuel on Trump's claims of politicized justice.
Right. So let's look at the issue. You're wondering why we're starting on the international front. It's because a new world order is coming that defies religion, it defies culture, and defies ethics. But it's a new world. Welcome to the new world of power. Excuse me, and welcome to the new world of self-interest first above others. Because with this, you will begin to have a reality check. Now, Biden's son has been facing charges. Political undertone, maybe yes, but he pleaded guilty. Tax evasion, and I think something to do with drugs. Now, he hasn't been sentenced. And his father, as president, I'd like you to correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe I missed one, but his father has now pardoned him even before he has been sentenced. Of course, in anticipation that if by the time Trump resumes, if that guy is not careful, they slap him with 2 more and stuff like that. That is signal number 1. Signal number 2 is that Trump himself is likely to pardon all those who raided the Capitol, all those who did a lot of things supposedly in his interests, and so he's likely to pardon them, including himself. It has been, the questions are being asked that can he pardon himself? Does he have such powers? Now, America is the leader or self-appointed leader of democracy. And you can see where all that has gotten both America and is likely to get us. The reason why this is the first story that we're treating today is because it signals the beginning of reality and brazen use of power that permeates the world. It's not peculiar to America, and it's not going to be peculiar to Nigeria. This is where I'm going. Because we are also beginning to see signs of things like this, where our president, in defiance of, I don't want to say the Constitution, but in defiance of laws and practices, does things that either show that maybe there's no deep thinking or it's all about his personal interest, maybe not, or that of his friends. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to prepare us for the new world. For example, going back to the France, by the way, he's gone from France now, he's gone to South Africa. I don't know where he's going to go next. All the theories about, we are going to cut down the entourage and whatever, all that has been thrown out of the window. So what you have seen is a president who keeps going out of the country at the slightest excuse, working holiday, working this, working that, and whatever it is. And practically very little being done at home at a time when you need to take care of the home front first. Of course, you know about the French something. I saw one my aburo with his funny hat trying to justify, he was on TV yesterday trying to justify all these things. This is the benefit, that is the benefit. What about the damage? What about our standing in Africa? What about the total picture? Because you see, it's not all just about money and economy and so on and so forth. It's also about the damage that could follow therein. And so what I just want us to prepare ourselves, both of us, moralists, Christians, and whatever, people who are a bit older, for the world that is about to come. And it's going to be very, 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 very tough for individuals. It's going to be very, very tough. We are finding a world now where leaders are so powerful that you can almost say, to some extent, that what you have, even in the world's democracies, are very close to dictatorships. If you look at the selection that is likely to come up with a new presidency there, if you look at what is happening back home, the nepotism, the favoritism, self-interest. If you look at these things, then I'd like you to prepare yourselves for this new world. So how do you survive? You have to make up your mind about that. You have to make up your mind about how you are going to survive the new world. The new world is going to be extremely vicious. The world is going to almost become a concrete jungle. And if you tie it in with all the various threats of war that you have, then we know that we are all in for it. Do you run to God at this time? Yes. Where else would you run to? But you can't run to even your spiritual leaders. They've sold you out. A word of wisdom for us this morning. I just thought I'd mention it.
Indeed.
Do you have anything to tell them?
Nothing at all.
I knew.
Nothing at all.
I just knew you would say no.
Succinctly put. You have said everything.
But does it scare you?
Yeah, of course. And what is most scaring is that humanity is not. People generally are not getting smarter. People generally are not getting wiser. Instead, we've seen, massive level of decline in cognitive ability of the larger human population, not just in Nigeria alone, but larger population.
Yeah.
And most of the innovations that are coming through are not as against improving the thinking ability of people, the ability to innovate and all of that, of the human beings, or of mankind. They are dumbing them down. And these things are coming through various ways: technology, food, water, whatever it is that you want to call it. We are eating everything. We're taking everything in. There are more diseases now. There are, children are not growing up the way they should grow up now. Parents themselves are not acting like parents. It's just, yeah.
Like they were saying,
Yeah.
Then the other side to it very quickly is that if you're thinking that you could run away from Nigeria to a better world, in another 10 years there will be no better world. And I tell you what it is. We are beginning to see the rise of nationalism. Okay, where you're going to be finding it very, very difficult as a black African to live in some of these European countries. So you better brace yourself up for that. It's coming, it's brewing, and very soon you're going to have a leader in any of these countries whose aim primarily would be to promote such things. So let's get ourselves braced up and ready for what might be ahead. Did that frighten them?
No, I don't.
I didn't.
I don't think so. I think it's just a fact, whether we want to hear it now
Whether you want to hear it
or
or
later.
not.
Yeah.
I've told them this is for analysis. If you want hope, you go to where you went last on Sunday. We can give you hope there.
Now to the Punch, page 7. EFCC seizes 753 duplex estate, hides ex-government top shot's identity.
You see, this story is not interesting when you're at home because you don't get a feel of what it is until you see the picture of what we are talking about.
Yeah.
It's like somebody owns Festac Town. Almost like that. Like somebody owns Ogawan Estate or something like that. But that's not even the issue. The issue is that for the likes of, I can't find any reason whatsoever why the EFCC would not want to name this person. And you see what the elite are doing, because all this is an elitist thing. What the elite are doing really is you keep pushing the people. If you think these things don't matter, Nigerians are waiting patiently for one day when somebody will be properly named, shamed, and punished for corruption. It hasn't happened. If you're seizing something of this manner, we should have his face on the front page of the newspaper so that people will know those who have put them into penury. Because if a government official has 753 units of duplexes and apartments in one estate, imagine how much has gone out of the federal coffers that has put us in poverty today. I tried to read through the story. I didn't see anywhere where there was a court order that it should not be mentioned. Somebody called in this morning and said maybe it was part of his
Plea bargain.
Plea bargain. How can any judge put as part of the plea bargain that that person will not be mentioned? Was there no journalist who covered the case? This is a challenge to the media. We should go after this case and get the name of this person. This is also a challenge for various organizations. Shuware, all of them. What's the name of the other gentleman, the lawyer now? His name just ran out of my head. Adeyanju, all of them. You must fish out the name of this person. I refuse to believe that the person cannot be known. And every time I hear things like this, I remember part of a song in Fela's song that Pig Botha said when he saw what the blacks were doing to gain freedom in South Africa. He said, at that time it was an uprising, he said, this uprising will bring out the beast in us. Our elites and our politicians should be very careful that they don't bring out the beast in Nigerians, because this is one too far, one too many. This is a slap and an insult. When you talk about insults, not the kind of insult where somebody is annoyed that they didn't make him SSA, not that kind of insult. Mm-hmm. This is a slap on Nigerians. And I will expect an editorial from The Punch who carried this story. Indeed, it should have been from. Indeed, if I had this kind of story, I'd have written a comment on the front page of the papers. That's what the ethics, the Eric Teniolas, and so the Toya Kiodes, Muyiwa Detibas would have done way back when we were practicing full-time journalism. There'll be a comment section by the story that a story of this nature doesn't include the name of the person who has all this. Is he a god? Who could he be? Even if he was the president at that time, name him. He's a human being. Let us know those. It's the same thing that has happened with the subsidy fraud. Till date, we don't know who to hold. And the reason why you and I are in penury, buying meat from Mama Put that you cannot even pick up with a fork. In fact, you cannot even pick it up with your fingers. You can only use a toothpick to pick it, to put it in your mouth. This is one too many, and I hope that somebody somewhere will help Nigerians by letting us know who this gentleman is. Oh my God, the likes of Dailies are dead. If they have fished it out.
Sahara Reporters, Shore's platform already put it out.
They put the name there?
Yes.
Are you kidding? And let's read it now.
They said it's Godwin Emefiele.
So how come the name is not in the story?
Because the EFCC did not put it there.
I owe Shore something. I will send him a small parcel. Not the kind of parcel that Fela sent to my friend Vincent Igbedion when he was working in National Theatre. Fela told him, my brother, I will send you some parcel tomorrow. So they brought this big parcel. They brought this. Oh, who is phoning me now? I thought my phone was on silence. They brought this big parcel.
The person wanted to
tell me
to mock you. You didn't know that Shore has put it there.
I didn't know. Sorry. And so he told my friend I will give you one small parcel. When they brought the parcel, when my friend was on his table, he didn't know. Everybody was there. As soon as he opened it, he just saw grass all over his table.
He saw grass.
Next. So what then is the secret? But Omo, look at that.
Yeah, that's massive. That's massive. The moment they put it there, the gentleman has been trending on social media since yesterday.
It's because please don't blame me for having not seen it.
Look at it. Just look.
You can't. In this job, if you want your sanity, what I do is on Mondays I just block myself. I would have seen it. Look at this. I don't know whoever did this.
What kind of thirst is this? What kind of appetite is this?
It's incredible. But there are many more. There are many more. You see, the level of corruption Don't waste time. Let's just go to the next one.
Let's go to our next story. Still in the
I
Punch
have a
newspaper
headache.
already. Sharp.
Reading for me. Because I'm asking myself, look at how I have driven myself through my life. If I bring out my CV, you will see grueling work. That's why I feel like a beat up Moloe. Multi-rack is only panel beating and very good painting. And then somebody just comes because of one opportunity and has all this. This thing is going to bring out if we don't handle these issues carefully. Hey. Oh yeah, next one.
Why I swore in judges rejected by Obaseki. That's Okwewolo.
I don't know if Okwewolo listens to Nigeria Info because I remember that, but I just like to tell him that can you please govern and leave Obaseki alone? In all honesty, just start governing and leave. Don't think that you will continue to gain ground doing what Obaseki should have done or what he did wrong. Could you please just govern the people? And like I said, I've lived in Benin, I've been in Edo before. These people want very simple but functional things. Good schools for their children to go to, health centers in the local governments, pipe-borne water, markets where they can do their trade, good roads. That's all. You don't all this. Everything I've seen in recent times has to do with Obaseki. You shouldn't have an Obaseki hangover. You shouldn't. In fact, the mature thing for you to do is to make sure that you offer him all the respect due a previous governor. What can you say Obaseki has done that none of your people in APC has not done and you will not do? Already the first thing you did, it had nepotism involved.
The first thing
you appointed the health commissioner. I can understand Attorney General. You appointed the health commissioner. It turned out to be Oshomole's son. You now started sending out signals. Oshomole said he didn't want. If Oshomole really didn't want his son, he would talk to his son. The boy is brilliant. There's no doubt about it. He can get a job. He's not jobless. So forget it. You know the way these things go. Somebody needs to tell him that, look, govern your state. Do the things that are expected of you and don't fall victim into thinking that you want to correct everything that Obaseki has done. Because people will soon get tired of that and they'll be asking the crucial questions. Face the low-hanging fruits. Begin to repair the schools, begin to do, and don't even, every time you mention Obaseki's name, do so with respect. The campaign is over. So that's a matured way to go about all this. Don't make anybody an enemy for life. The cane that they used to beat the whatever is still in the whatever. Yeah, yes, you can fill in the missing gap.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Let's go to the Metro page of the Punch newspaper.
Yes, let's just rush through it. 4 children rescued as police bus reverse syndicate. Lagos seals 10 properties over environmental violations. I'm going to ask Dr. Wahab to please come and save us in Surulere in some parts. If he's listening, he should please be on standby. Our environment is gradually becoming a complete mess.
I had to send him a message on TikTok yesterday because I've been trying to get hold of him.
I will fish him out. Yeah. He has to come and help sanitize.
Lagos is.
He has to come and sanitize my neighborhood. It's becoming unbearable. We can't be facing all these challenges and so people just make your life unbearable in the name of religion. I was almost in fisticuffs even this morning. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not, because a preacher came 5 o'clock in the morning from another neighborhood. Why don't you stand in front of a house and do this thing? And apart from that, I don't understand. 1.2 million, 1.5 million naira rent, you can't pack refuse. The whole place is in a mess. But that's my personal story. I'll handle that one. Family demands proof of arson attack on 4 relatives. There's no more stories here. Lagos trains 2,500 in technical and vocational skills. I'm interested in this one. Like one of my guests said, take an interest into the opportunities that Lagos State has to offer. I'd like to thank the domestic violence group, headed by Mrs. Adeni. I referred the case to them, and when they found out that the woman was jobless, they referred her to one something skills agency, whatever it is, and they have to fill the form. What do you want to do? So don't just sit back and waste your time criticizing, in the social media. To be very honest, my eyes are open and I now see a lot of good things that, when I say open, not that they were closed, I'm just being political. Lagos State has been freed from a jackboot. So it now has more opportunities to offer, and you better just take advantage of them. For example, they say Lagos State empowers 150 senior citizens. I'm a senior citizen. Me, Ori Nkogba. They say Lagos State government has offered financial assistance to about 150 citizens with disabilities, 200,000 naira each. We'd like whoever is in charge of this to come and tell us how the 150 senior citizens were determined, just for record purposes. And it says LASMA sensitizes motorists to safe driving. That's a tall order. So that's essentially what you have and today is it's late. I thought today is his 80th birthday in heaven. General Brigadier Olorin. Did you hear about that? Former governor. So
let's go to the HealthWise Plus page of the Punch and the health page of the Trust.
Okay. There's not much here that is of general interest. The endocrinologist has said that diabetes is not a death sentence. I can tell you that I'm diabetic. I'm not dead. It's not a death sentence if you manage it very well. And early discovery is key. Okay, once you hit that 40 mark, then every year it doesn't cost you anything to go get yourself checked out. Once you discover very early. I've been diabetic now for only God knows how many years, and I'm still enjoying my life. Why are you looking at me?
No, you are really enjoying it. You are enjoying it. You are really enjoying.
What else? Jackpot, doctors seek exchange programs, to curb jackpot. That would be good. And from the Trust, there's a story here that I think you might want to read. It's in the Daily Trust. It's called What to Know About Heart Disease. What to know about heart disease. And there's another story here that actually caught my attention. And it says, dietitian warns of foods you should never reheat to avoid deadly bacteria. Don't reheat them. So these foods are better eaten once and for all. The first on the list is spinach. Don't heat it up. Once you have spinach, eat what you have to eat. If you can't finish it, give the leftovers to somebody to fill that person's belly. The other one I discovered that says the next favorite to avoid reheating is tea. You reheat tea.
Why would I do that?
Yes, because you better learn from this.
Like, why would I heat?
Don't tell you.
Like, why? Why would I do that?
Because when you are coming, you make your tea. Then when you're about to leave, you quickly put it in the microwave to reheat it.
Where is it?
To spite me. Only it's written here. The next favorite is to avoid reheating tea. Not only will it make the drink more bitter, because reheating increases the amount of fat-tasting tannins. Any kind of dormant bacteria can become active in it. I've warned you. Everybody has heard me. Sheriff, do not reheat tea. I don't know if you eat spinach.
But I don't reheat.
You reheat tea. You reheat tea. I'm warning. It's a public warning. Your own interest.
Please don't reheat tea.
A word is enough for the wise.
You have heard it now. Don't reheat tea.
Don't reheat tea.
Let's go to the Trust. Page 19 of the Trust. I have this one that says FG begins 50 naira electronic levy deductions from OPay, Money Point, others.
That is it. That's the news. The federal government says it has kickstarted 50 naira electronic levy from transactions of 10,000 naira and above made by users of fintech companies, including OPay, Money Point, Kuda, and others. So every time you make a transaction over 10,000, then the government will charge you 50 naira. It sounds minimal, but if you're a market person, if for example you're in the market, you use it to buy goods or whatever, so every time you make whatever, it's 50 naira. By the time you accumulate all that, it's a lot of money. But it says no. It says that a singular and one-off levy of 50 naira on the recipient of any electronic receipt. So it's the person that you are giving that is short, not you that you are the giver. It's the person you are giving. So if you buy petrol and you use money point, the petrol man is going to be 50 naira short.
They will just add 15 naira to it. They will tell you. They will say add 15 naira to it.
Then they will not add 15 naira to it like that. Oh. If you are not careful, they say, government don't say make they add 15 naira per liter. Yes. So you better sharpen up. Get wise.
Okay, let's take our last story. Our last story is just perfect for being the last story. Obi of Onitsha to politicians, stop milking Nigeria like cow. It will soon dry up.
God will bless the Obi of Onitsha. He's the first traditional ruler I'm seeing that is doing this. And our other traditional rulers should now learn to stand up for their people. There's another story here that gave me a bit of hope. Archbishop Ugoji, the Catholic Archbishop of Uweri, has said, save the masses from hardship and avoidable death. This is what we also expect from our religious leaders. And we like more of them. Those who Daddy has not spoken to should put a phone call through to Daddy so he can tell them to tell those in power to save the lives of the masses. Nothing more, nothing else. And to the Obi of other traditional rulers who rather have expertise in dancing and wasting money, building Rolls Royces and statues and things like that. I have told you this and I've told you again. Do not be deceived by the cheering crowd that you have bribed to cheer you along as they are doing these things. One day, you will bring out the beast in them. The same applies to our religious leaders. You need to stand for the people. Forget this issue of this is not the time to think of how to extract more money from them. You need to stand up for them. You need to stand up for them. You need to stand up for them. I've said it 3 times.
Yes. And they need to hear. They must hear.
Must hear.
But we have to go now. We must go.
Yes, I'll be back at 9.
Yes, you will.
There is somebody who believes that he wants to counter what Chief Bode George said.
Okay.
That Atiku should run at 81. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Oh, okay. That should be.
It's an article.
He's articulated.
He's articulated. The politics has started.
Yeah, it has. It has in full swing. Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
Lagos, thank you for being there. At 8 o'clock, let's talk to an investigative journalist with the BBC Africa Eye, where she did a report about how expectant women, married women, were being exploited by those who said they can get them pregnant. They call it cryptic pregnancy. The phenomenon itself is not new, it's not strange. It's just that some people are now taking advantage of it. They give them all kinds of things, concoctions, injections, drugs, and all of that to make these women feel like they are actually pregnant. But in the end, they go and purchase babies to give to them. They call them. We'll talk some more. The reporter herself will be joining us to tell us exactly what she uncovered in her report. Stay here on Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.